the sky. For thousands of years, it has been both a stage humanity admired with awe and one it feared. Rain, wind, storms, forces that shape every aspect of life, from agriculture to energy production, from transportation safety to our daily routines. But throughout history, these forces have been mostly unpredictable and uncontrollable. But what if that's no longer the case? What if we could make it rain exactly where and when we want, redirect hurricanes, soften scorching heat? It sounds like science fiction, yet scientists have been working for decades to turn this dream into reality. Today, artificial rain, cloud seeding technologies, and storm control experiments are no longer confined to laboratories. They are actively tested in many countries. In this video, we'll explore how the science of weather modification works, the technologies used, examples of success and failure, the challenges faced, and the ethical debates surrounding them. Rain is one of the most fundamental links in Earth's water cycle. Water evaporates from oceans, lakes, and rivers, rises with warm air currents, and cools as it ascends. Water vapor then condenses around microscopic particles in the atmosphere, dust, pollen, or sea salt, forming tiny droplets. As these droplets grow heavier, gravity pulls them back to Earth. This cycle has operated under its own rules for millions of years. Human intervention only became possible in the 20th century. Cloud seeding is the most well-known method of influencing weather. The logic is simple: introduce artificial particles into clouds to trigger condensation. The most common materials used are silver iodide, resembles ice crystals, encouraging water vapor to crystallize. Dry ice, solid CO2, cools the cloud to accelerate condensation. Salt particles, particularly effective in warm, humid climates to promote droplet merging. These substances are dispersed into clouds via aircraft, rockets, artillery, and more recently, drones. Some systems even alter the cloud's electrical charge to induce rainfall. But cloud seeding doesn't guarantee rain. It only works on clouds that are already likely to produce precipitation. Without enough moisture or favorable atmospheric conditions, the attempt fails. The first major experiment took place in 1946 when Vincent Schaefer of General Electric created artificial rain in a laboratory using dry ice. In 1947, Nobel laureate Irving Langmuir laid the scientific foundations of the method. By the 1950s, the US and the Soviet Union were testing cloud seeding both to boost agricultural yield and for military advantage. One of the most controversial cases was Operation Popeye during the Vietnam War, 1967 to 1972. The goal was to extend the monsoon season and turn enemy supply routes into mud. This operation became one of the most striking examples of military weather modification. Today, artificial rain technology is in use across the globe. China conducted a massive operation during the 2008 Beijing Olympics to redirect rainfall away from the city, and plans to establish a 1.6 million square kilometer weather control system by 2025. The United Arab Emirates uses drones to alter cloud electrical charges to increase rainfall in desert regions. Australia conducts cloud seeding flights during agricultural droughts. The United States, in states like Colorado and Wyoming, uses it to increase winter snowfall. While artificial rain is relatively straightforward, storm control is far more complex. A hurricane's energy output is equivalent to about 10 million nuclear bombs. During the Cold War, the US launched Project Stormfury, attempting to inject silver iodide into hurricanes to weaken their wind speeds. Some tests showed minor reductions, but the results were inconsistent, and the project was cancelled in 1983. When it comes to storm control, one of the most debated topics is HAARP. Located in Alaska, this facility was built to study the ionosphere. However, conspiracy theories claim it's used to control weather or manipulate climate. Scientific data, however, does not support these claims. The energy HAARP can generate is far too small to affect massive systems like hurricanes. Still, the facility's mysterious image has fueled such rumors. Weather modification has both success stories and failures. In Dubai, drones successfully induced rain during the peak of summer. In China's agricultural regions, cloud seeding has reportedly increased crop yields. On the other hand, operations have failed when clouds were absent, and unintended rain has sometimes fallen in the wrong regions. Moreover, making it rain in one place may draw moisture away from another, potentially disturbing ecosystems. The ethical and legal dimensions of these technologies are critical. The NMOD Convention, which came into effect in 1977, prohibits the military use of environmental modification. Peaceful uses, however, remain a grey area. In the wrong hands, weather modification could escalate geopolitical tensions, especially in water-scarce regions, where it could be used as a political weapon. Looking ahead, climate change is increasing interest in weather control technologies. Droughts, floods, heat waves, and severe storms are becoming more frequent. Under such conditions, artificial rain and storm control could become valuable tools in disaster management. But the same technology, in malicious hands, could become a weapon. That's why not only the development, but also the regulation and international cooperation surrounding these technologies are vital. For thousands of years, the sky has been humanity's shared domain. Now, we have the technology to change it. Used wisely, it could save lives. Used recklessly, it could bring catastrophe. And perhaps the greatest danger is not the storm itself, but the human who dares to create it.